Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Austin, co-founder of Elevation Disc Golf, and today we're going to do a little overview of the Interceptor and how it can help improve your game. So just to do a quick summary, this is the Interceptor. It's an overstable approach disc. It's a mid-range and has a low profile, so it's really comfortable, like regardless of your hand size. It also has this ridge in it, which is really good for either grip, backhand or forehand. Your thumb fits really nicely on that ridge and just gives you a more confident grip. The feeling that I was going for when I was designing it is to feel in your hand kind of like a fairway driver. I just like the feeling of fairway drivers the best for forehand and backhand. So I thought, why not try to make an approach disc that feels really comfortable. So immediately when you pick it up, you're going to notice that it is a floppy disc. You can fold it in half, you can fold it in quarters, whatever you want to do. It might come out a little bit weird, but if you just shake it out a little bit, it goes back to exactly how it was. So in that sense, it's extremely durable. No matter what you do to this thing, it's not going to change its shape. I've been throwing mine for a few months now, and I haven't noticed any flight difference. So that being said, our discs are made out of 100% rubber. That's what allows it to do that. And also along with that, you're going to notice it's really grippy. The plastic feels great in your hand. The only thing is that it's so grippy that even dirt will stick to it. So if you're going to a course with a lot of dirt, make sure you bring a towel so you can wipe off a little bit. You can get a good grip on it. All right, so at this point, you might be saying, hey, Austin, it seems like a cool disc, but why? Why is it so floppy? Why is it made of rubber? What are you doing? And to that, I would say there's an answer. So let's head out to the field and we'll show you what this thing can do for your game. So these are the discs I brought to the course with me. I got 3 Interceptors, and then I have 3 other comparable approach discs. I just want to make it clear I have nothing wrong with these discs. I bagged all of them, but just for a point of reference, I wanted to bring them with me. For these next few scenes, this is where we're going to be at. You can see I'm the little stick man in the circle, and it's about 185 feet to the pin. The basket's surrounded by bushes and the ground is hard pan dirt. So first I'm throwing this regular plastic approach putter. So we're going to pause here. On the left you have the frame before the disc hits the ground, showing that 100% of the energy is headed towards the ground in the direction the disc is flying. Now on the right is the frame just after the disc hit the ground. This is a totally made up number, but let's just say 20% of the energy goes into the ground and 80% carries on with the disc. You can see the disc maintained a lot of its momentum and flared off to the right. And one more time, this is an approach mid-range now, and you can see it comes in with a lot of momentum and carries it off to the right. Now here's the Interceptor coming in, and we'll stop when it hits the ground. Just like before, the arrow indicates the energy going towards the ground. Now this is where the Interceptor is different. Bam, taco. Next thing you know, bam, it's an inflatable tube dancer, just waving around. Then to finish it off, upside down taco. Again, I'm totally guessing at these numbers, but every time you see the Interceptor dancing around or turning into a taco, that's energy being absorbed by the disc, and that's energy that's not going to be transferred to the disc moving, flaring off to the side, or anything like that. So from here, the Interceptor is just going to slide and stop well before a plastic disc would. And here's another Interceptor cruising in, sitting down right under the basket. And on this hole, the difference between the flexible Interceptor and a rigid approach disc is the difference between a tap-in and the bushes. So one last time, taco, two-man taco makes your disc stoppo. So dumb. Before we move on, I just want to make sure we all know what we're dealing with here. The ground at this course is hard pan. We're right next to the desert, and that desert contains the hottest place on earth, Death Valley. So this is pretty much worst case scenario for skips and rolls. Alright, now we're going to do some 125-foot upshots. For this exercise, I'm going to be using 3 interceptors and those same 3 approach discs that I showed you earlier. Now before I throw, I want to make it clear. All of my throws aren't going to be exactly the same, but I really tried. And I'm not telling you to just take what I've shown you here and accept it as truth. I would encourage you to go out with your favorite approach discs and try something similar to this and see which disc consistently gets you closest to the basket. The first shot with the interceptor lands a few feet short of the pin at perfect skipping angle, but instead it just slides until it bounces off the pole and we're left with a tap in. Now this second shot, I sawed off a little bit, landing left and short. I would normally be nervous, but the interceptor slid up to a 10-footer. The third shot, I hung out a little wider, and it was perfect, slid up to about 2 feet. Now the first shot with the approach putter. Notice how far to the right it lands on the ground, and it does that little skip and roll, going about twice as far as the interceptor does after it hits the ground. Now the second approach putter. I saw this one off a little bit too, similar to how I did the interceptor, but this one skips to about 45 feet. Finally, with the approach mid-range, I correct and hang it out a little bit wider to the right, but it lands and skips again to about 40 feet. Now before I go on, I realized that I could just aim more to the right, or I could throw like a soft anhyzer, but for me, a hyzer is a comfortable shot. With the interceptor, I don't have to aim 30 feet to the right. I can aim at the pin, I could even give the basket a run, and still feel comfortable with where I'm going to end up. Now let's back up to 185 feet. The first interceptor shot lands a little bit short left and slides up to about a 10-footer. My second shot, I definitely sawed off, landing about 15 feet to the left of the basket. Luckily though, it only slid about 5 feet after it hit the ground, leaving me with about a 20-footer. The third shot, I correct and land a little bit to the right of the basket, slide up that consistent 5 or so feet, and have a tap in. My first shot with the normal approach putter, I throw pretty badly. I land about 20 feet to the left of the basket, but my mistake is made even worse when the disc skips to 40. My second shot I definitely corrected, and I end up hitting the cage. Unfortunately, it sends my disc careening off to the left, and my almost throw-in turns into another 40-footer. My last shot, with a regular approach mid-range, I accidentally throw a skip shot, landing about 60 feet short of the basket, and it ends up skipping up to be the closest one of the regular discs. So in the end, I just want to highlight that the interceptor on average for me had a third of the ground play of a regular disc. And for me, that consistency makes a huge difference. Now while I scoot back and throw a quick sidearm and thumber, I just want to say, even though this disc is a mid-range, it was designed for shorter approach shots. I personally, with my power, wouldn't really use it past 250 feet. Now I leave you with one of my favorite things to do with the interceptor: scramble. So that's going to wrap it up today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Macy and I just want to say thank you. This has been amazing, all the support that we've gotten so far. We just hope that we can continue to put out content and discs that you guys really like. So thank you for all the feedback and thank you for all the encouragement. It means the world to us. If you like this video, you like the editing, you can thank my 8th grade video productions teacher, Sergio Estrada. If you're out there watching, thank you. Other than that, please remember to like, comment, subscribe to our channel for all sorts of new stuff we're going to come out with. Go ahead and put in the comments below what you think about the Interceptor, if you want one, if you don't. And we're a new channel, so if you have any ideas for what you'd like to see on here, please let us know. We're open to ideas, and we want to be here for you guys. So anyway, hope you have a good day. See ya.